Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the 19th hole. We are live on In Between Media. We are sports, we're lifestyle, and everything in between. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the whole channel, and jingle that bell for notifications. We have reached the playoffs. Playoffs? Hey, the PGA Tour has playoffs. This year, it's even more exclusive. Only the top 70 golfers get in. We're at TPC Southwind for the FedEx St. Jude. Make sure you go out there and donate to St. Jude Children's Hospital. Great cause. We're going to hit the betting lines here after this. Conor Coughlin's back. How was that storm last week?
It was interesting. Yeah, we had a lot of carnage around the city. I know you're a fan of carnage. Not that kind of carnage.
Not that kind of carnage. Yeah, I don't like to see loss of property and life in weather. Yeah, that's crazy.
It was pretty wild though. It looked like it was gonna miss us all together, and then all of a sudden just kind of formed back on itself and hit us pretty much square on. But knock on wood, no damage to the house, no worse for the wear on my end.
That's good. Yeah. All right. Yeah, it's unseasonably cool here in NorCal, so we're enjoying the sunshine without the backbreaking heat that we're used to. But August it's shaping up to be a scorcher. By the time we get to Labor Day, I'm going to be a couple shades darker, guaranteed.
Oh, I could use some of that. Like, I did not get my normal bronze this year. I'm a little pasty.
Yeah, I could see it. Well, we have reached the playoffs. We skidded into the finish. It was a very terrible Wyndham Championship. We'll get into the news in just a second. But are you drinking anything? Because we have a show tonight, and this is a drinking show with a golf problem.
Yeah, it's very basic. Doing a little Tito's and a little bit of Mio. So
Tito's and Mio, that's a good combo.
Unfortunately, I don't know that I washed my mug correctly because every sip I'm taking tastes like Dawn dish soap. So,
oh, you didn't rinse enough.
Yeah, so it's not me not being able to handle my booze, as we all know. I can do that.
He's gonna be hiccuping throughout the show.
Yeah, it's
gonna be blowing bubbles like an old cartoon.
It's a formidable scent.
Shout out to our listeners in West Tennessee on the radio, 101.5 in Memphis and surrounding area. You guys get your host tournament this year. Playoffs. It's pretty cool. It was like we've been shouting you out all season, and now you guys have a tournament right in your backyard. Go check it out. TPC Southwind. I'm drinking water with a squeeze of fresh lemon juice through a glass straw.
After that whole bit about we're a drinking show, you're drinking water with lemon.
Yes.
Really embodying what we're about here.
It's really refreshing, though.
Oh, golly.
Well, you want to get into the news before we get even more off the rails?
Well, yeah, God bless you. I don't want you to get any more wasted than you already are.
Yeah, this is good lemon water, though. It's artesian. It was not a banner week for the show. We didn't get it right. It was probably the worst week we've had in the season for sure, and since maybe since last year at the Wyndham Championship, we were quite poor. Oh well, it's on to this week in the playoffs, but we do have to shout out the artist formerly known as Scam Young, breaking through with his first PGA Tour win at the Wyndham Championship in the state where he went to college at Wake Forest. You got go Demon Deacons all week. The New Yorker was superb. Tee to green, superb. He's always been that. On the greens, would he gain 12 strokes putting? That's the best he's ever done. And it's one of the best putting tournaments that anybody's had this entire season. Scam unlikely. He's not a scam anymore. 1,000th unique champion on the PGA Tour. I think he was just saving himself for that because that's really cool. Talk about Cam Young and what a 4-day stretch of remarkable golf.
I mean, not to toot my own horn here, but I have been on Cam Young for about the last 3 or 4 starts. Wasn't on the show last week. Would have definitely said throw some money down on him. But nonetheless, you can't victory lap when you aren't here to announce your findings. But
Mother Nature would have. I mean, if it would have cooperated, you would have been on the show to do that. And I'm sure everybody who watches the show already read your article, so they're probably celebrating and making fun of me and Jake for not talking about Cam Young. So that's pretty much how it goes.
Yeah, I think what we know about Cam Young is, I mean, he's always just been right there, right? I mean, it's a matter of time waiting for him to put it all together, hold it together for 4 rounds, which, I mean, he did an excellent job of this time. I mean, 62, 63, 65. And then you starts the final round with the bogey and immediately bounces back. I think he had 5 straight birdies after that.
Yeah, he was quite good.
So, yeah, I mean, shout out to Cam Young. I love to see him finally getting it done. I think we all are happy for Cam Young at this point.
Yeah, and we got to be happy for somebody after that performance that we had last week. Cam Young, good for you, buddy. We're hoping that guy stays hot through the playoffs so he can make the Ryder Cup next month for Team USA at Bethpage Black, which he is very familiar with. We need that firepower on the team. And so if Cam Young is starting to round into some peak form again, Team USA is going to need him. We need that firepower because Team Europe is too strong to win the Ryder Cup unless we have somebody like that who's going to be very beholden to the home crowd in New York. I'm rooting for him in the playoffs. I'm rooting for him to make that Ryder Cup team because that'll at least give us some hope in the Ryder Cup for Team USA.
No, and Cam Young, even watching him in like TGL this year, when you see him in like that team match play environment, just a different guy. And so yeah, I'm really, really hoping that he either gets in there qualifying on his own, or at least we get a captain's pick or something. But I think Cam Young would be an awesome addition to Team USA. So cross your fingers.
In LPGA news, it's been 17 months, but Nelly Korda is no longer the number 1 golfer in the women's ranks. She's still really good, though, guys. Still really good. Still quite good. It is noteworthy, though, but because 17 months is a long time to hold the crown. So I'm sure she'll get it back soon. She's too good at this game. And the women's game is very strong. It's probably the strongest it's ever been. The fact that she held down that top spot for 17 months with the state of the women's game, very impressive. So you have any comments on Nelly Korda, other than how perfect her golf swing and how jealous we all are?
She got dethroned by like a stroke, didn't she? I mean,
yeah,
had she shot at 74, I think she would have kept it in the final round.
She needed a top 20 finish, and she was outside the top 25.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was close. It was close. Shot the worst round of the week on Sunday and took herself out of there. But like you said, it's Nelly Korda. She'll bounce back.
Yeah, that's appointment television. When you're watching golf, watch Nelly Korda. That's how the game is supposed to be played. She's that good. The most perfect swing I've ever seen.
Well, and I mean, if you can catch some of the bits like she did with Tiger, I see him on TikTok all the time. And I mean, it's amazing. He's calling shots at her and she's hitting them like to a tee. I mean, crazy Tiger shots, she's quite amazing. So that's a heck of a run she had. And I expect to see her right back up there. So
Well, we won't be able to give Rory any flack in the first round of the playoffs from the fans in West Tennessee because he's not going to be there. I don't understand this move at all. He's the only guy in the top 70 not playing the FedEx St. Jude. This is a horrendous decision. A horrendous decision. Whether he needs the points or not, you go and you play the first round of the playoffs like everybody else. The only good news that comes out of this is that it drops the field size down to 69, nice. Which is nice.
Yeah, it's getting a little tough for me with Rory. It pains me, some of the decisions.
It's going to be really hot, guys. It's going to be so hot. The heat index is going to be over 100. It's like, yeah, the same for all the other 69 guys in the field are going to have to deal with the heat and humidity. Like, that's summertime golf.
It's your point though. It's just, I mean, it's just bad form. I mean, you show up and you play just like everybody else. I don't know if I'm so, he's always been a bit of a prima donna. That comes with the territory, but I think it's getting exceedingly worse. Especially, I mean, you can pinpoint it. Getting the green jacket, I think, was the beginning of the downward spiral, attitudinally speaking.
Yeah, wow! Like the whole relief that we got, the whole exhale, and then Rory was like, "Actually, I've been a turd this whole time." You're just gonna get to know successful turd, career grand slam turd.
I mean, I'm not gonna go that far, but
I just want to see him play golf, and he's just not playing golf.
No, and it seems like every time he does bother to play golf, there's just too much politics, too much drama, too much this, too much that. He didn't do enough press conferences, whatever. It's just it takes away from it so badly that, I mean, I don't know. He's got to right the ship from a PR standpoint.
He's going to have to answer to why weren't you in Memphis as soon as he gets to the event next week at the BMW. He's going to have to answer more questions that he wouldn't have to answer if he was here.
Yep. I mean, he's to some extent doing it to himself. So, yeah.
It's completely self-inflicted because everybody else is here saying, hey, let's compete for the championship.
You know, mathematically, he doesn't have to be here, which I guess is whatever it is. It's not a strategy by any means, but I guess technically he doesn't need to play. So I guess that's what we're getting.
Well, okay. We are going to the playoffs. The FedEx St. Jude, great tournament, great event, great cause. I mean, TPC Southwind is awesome. Let's say we talk about it. Let's wax poetic about TPC Southwind in Memphis, Tennessee. Shout out. Take it away, Conor.
We are at TPC Southwind, Memphis, Tennessee. Par 70, yardage is 72.33. Fairways are Zoysia, greens are Bermuda. I personally not super into course history here because of the elite field and varied method of winning. We've seen a lot of different archetypes win. The main defenses of the course here, though, tight fairways, deep Bermuda rough, plenty of trees. 11 holes with water in play, so that's kind of fun. I do think that I do have a slight preference to guys that can hit it long and accurate, but accuracy is really, really paramount here. Aside from the other defenses I already mentioned, there's about 70 bunkers in play here. The greens are super small. They're tricky. They're definitely faster than average, and that's on a week where we aren't going to be dried out like we are this week. Yeah, I would definitely look for accuracy, again, paramount. Getting back to the green complexes, they're all super well protected by the sand and the water. So, so there's some proximity stats to look at there that we'll talk about in a few minutes. But most approach shots are going to come in from about 150 to 200 yards. But you really do need the full bag here. You're going to have tons of different variety on approach, tons of different ranges. And once you get all of that out of the way, you got to be able to putt on firm and fast. And it's going to be even more firm and fast than typical here. Probably going to need guys that have a little bit of scrambling ability, bunker play, like we've already said, because it's going to be dried out. The greens are going to be tough to stick. So going to need some guys that can get up and down as well. But again, just to hammer it home, you got to have the whole game, and it's got to be firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, I think consistency is going to be very, very strong correlation here. It's like guys that don't beat themselves, but obviously ball striking. We have top 70 in the field. Lots of great ball strikers here. Lots of guys who can get it done. Right off the top, you got Scottie Scheffler, who's the best ball striker in the world, but everybody else in this field, they got chops, and it's going to take the whole bag. It's going to take the mental game. It's going to be really hot. Like we're talking mid 90s with the heat index over 100 all 4 days. No sign of rain, not much wind to cool them off. It's going to be a grind, and the conditions won't be like this. This course is fair. Like you're going to give some birdie opportunities if you're in play. And if you're not in play, you're going to be scrambling to make bogey or par. And this whole field is going to be about who can stay steady, who can limit their mistakes, and who can take advantage of the birdie holes when they come. Because there are a few there. If you find the fairway and then you have a shot at these little greens, this course is well defended, but it's also going to reward good shots into tight spots. This is a course that is going to be incredibly fair, which I think for playoff format, it's perfect. No cut, you got fair. 4 rounds.
I mean, it is fair to your point. Like even the scoring is fair. It's not absurdly high. It's not absurdly low. I mean, it's usually in the upper teens. I think this week it's probably possible that we see it more to the mid to lower teens. I think that added dryness is going to make it a bit tougher than even it normally is. But yeah, to your point, very, very fair course. Very, very, you need to have a well-rounded game, which I think for playoff golf, that's what you should have. You should have to have the whole bag. It would be a sad state of affairs to see somebody come in here and just bomb and gouge away and just kind of win almost gimmick style. And there's some guys that are going to be on that bubble too, which I think adds a nice layer of competition, especially through the weekend.
Yeah. So 20 of these guys are going home this week.
It's great golf. It's a good watch. Fair challenge. So yeah, it's a good opener to the playoffs.
All right. Well, what do you say we bet on some golf? Twirl some clubs.
Why don't you say we win on some bets on some golf?
What we do. Well, we've been winning all year, just not last week. Well, you can't start the DraftKings Sportsbook odds without one Sir Scott Scheffler Esquire. Plus 280 though. Yikes. I'm game. Yeah, I'm game to live bet him. Talk me into putting Scottie on a pedestal here that he definitely deserves. But how much bang for your buck are you getting at plus 280, even if he does win?
But I think he probably does.
That's much. That's saying he has better than a 50% chance of winning based on those odds.
No, I mean I absolutely get that, but like, I mean, when you look at Scottie Scheffler, it's and especially with, I mean, not that Rory is the level of Scottie consistently, but when you take out like a big gun like that, I mean, in my opinion, it's Scottie or Rory that wins the Tour Championship, and so it's hard to poke a hole in Scottie's game. I mean, number 1 in approach, number 1 in greens and regulation, number 3 in scrambling, number 3 from 150 to 175, number 2 from 175 to 200. Those are key ranges. He's number 2 in par 4 scoring from 450 to 500 yards. The majority of the par 4s here are 450 to 500 yards. I mean, and somehow, by the grace of God, Scottie Scheffler is 5th in this field over the last 36 rounds for strokes gained putting. So I mean, it's wild. And I think Scottie tends to putt better when it gets more dried out and faster. So it's
I don't know about that. I have my filtering set for Bermuda with fast, and he's 63rd.
Yeah, but I wouldn't look at him historically. I would just look at what he's done over the last few weeks. Like if you look at what he did in Scotland, I mean, those were relatively fast. I mean, he was putting everything center cup. I mean, it was just crazy watching the strokes he was putting on the ball. So I just think his current mentality when it comes to putting is just next level for Scottie. So yeah, I don't know. 280 is really, really short, but I don't know. I think it's likely.
I'll be stalking the live lines. I'm not going to let him get too far away from me. If he cracks plus 500 or plus 600, I'm all over it. I'm also going to be in on Justin Thomas, despite his struggles off the tee. If you filter by fairways gained, which was more important last week, that we go by good drives gained on a course that's going to demand more drivers off the tee this week. And Justin Thomas goes from really, really bad to pretty darn good. He's missing fairways, but he's also not missing them that far off. And he's still one of the best iron players in the field, one of the best short games in the field. And the guy is just playing great golf. Justin Thomas is the guy I start my card with at plus 2,200 right now. That's for me. That's a lock. That's a great line on your first guy in, especially a guy who has played this course well and has played comp courses well. This 7,200 yards, fast, firm, needs accurate ball striking. That's Justin Thomas in a nutshell, is it not?
He's won here twice too, hasn't he?
Seems good.
Yeah, and
it was a while ago, but yes, he has.
It was a while ago, but I mean, historically. And I'm with you. Justin Thomas I'm all in on Justin Thomas too. But yeah, historically, he's gained more strokes here, more strokes total than any other player in this field. So, yeah, despite him not rating out like super well for me, this is one player I'll make a little bit of an exception. And historically, he's done very well here. So I
rated out number 2 in my model. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think he was in the top 25 for me. I didn't pay nearly as much attention to that as I did to just some of the course specific statistics when it came to Justin Thomas. He was, again, kind of the exception for me on the course fit.
Yeah. All right. Who else you got on your card there? Ooh, we have a showdown. Who is going to have the beer bet at plus 3,500 between one Victor Hovland, who seems to own this course, and one Patrick Cantlay, who needs to have a good showing to make the Ryder Cup. Patrick Cantlay, very, very good stats ancillary to this course, but has had a pretty putrid season. Hovland's won once this season. He's also had a pretty putrid season other than the Valspar, but this guy's won. He's won here twice as well, more recently than Thomas, and he's been inside the top 5 in 4 of his last 5 visits here. Seems good. I like Cantlay at the line. Hovland, you could talk me into if he slipped a little bit farther. But for some reason, I just have this vibe that Patrick Cantlay is going to wake up this week because he's really driven to get back to Bethpage.
Yeah, Cantlay popped for me too. I personally, I saw something in Hovland a few weeks back, starting around the U.S. Open, maybe even a little before that, going back to the Memorial. He was really starting to get his game back into shape. Hasn't done super well at this course, but I'm just kind of going off of current, like the past 36 rounds. Like I said, he's starting to round into form pretty well. If you just look at the general stats, he's second in the field for strokes gained approach over that time period, and he's first in the field from 175 to 200 yards on approach. Also is right there at the top 10 for greens and regulation gained. So those kind of accuracy stats that I'm looking for. Hovland's really rounding into form. So I tried to be early on him a few weeks back. I think I'm going to go back to him here. Cantlay, I think Cantley's a steady Eddie. He's got good history and all that. I don't know that I've seen that like pop from him. And I think Hovland's just got a higher ceiling.
I had to bet on him because he was number one in my model, and 35-1 is pretty good.
It's not bad. Don't get me wrong. He popped really well for me too, but Victor does outrank him by a spot. He's fifth in my model. Cantlay is sixth. So
yeah, Victor took a little dive on bogey and double avoidance and scrambling, but other than that, yeah, approach game, just accuracy stats. His irons are as good as it gets here. He's right there in that Scottie Scheffler type of approach game, which is going to play here pretty well. You also have Sepp Straka and Hideki Matsuyama on your card. Are you betting everybody this week?
No, I'm heavier up top this week. It's usually try and get somewhere around 10 players on the old card, varying investments. But with Straka, I don't know. I never get Straka right. He's always rates out really well. Again, I looked a lot at the accuracy stats, and when you look at that, Straka is very consistent on approach on almost all buckets. You look at the fairways hit percentage, greens hit percentage, both he's in the top 10 on both of them. And then bogey avoidance, which is a relatively important stat here. He's third in this field. So, again, he always rates out well. He tends to burn me, but I think it's a decent.
I'm worried. I'm worried because I had him nearly dead last in bogey avoidance by my filtering, and he was 31st in my field. So since I don't ever get Sepp Straka right, and you don't ever get him right, one of us is going to be right.
Yeah, let's hope.
Let's hope it's you. So that. Because I don't mind being wrong on Sepp Straka because I have other things going here, but
I'm gonna have to quit him if it happens again.
Yeah, Straka for me did not pop, which worried me even more than if he did. It was bad. I was like, oh, where's Sepp Straka? Oh, he's down at 31. What did I do wrong here? Because I think it's because I weighted short game and scrambling a little bit more. With the faster fairway rollouts and the greens being tricky, Sepp Straka tends to struggle, especially with short game everywhere, but especially when your greens are a little smaller and faster. But that's the only reason he fell, because obviously he's a great approach player in general.
Well, that is the problem with him, is the around the green. I mean, it's been okay in the last couple of starts. I mean, but for him, okay is flat. But it really skews his scrambling stats, because the majority of those scrambling stats are not from the rough and not from 100 plus out. They're chips and pitches and some of the up and down play. And so I don't know. It's a little riskier, but that I'm banking on some accuracy. So.
And Hideki Matsuyama, defending champion, he can't find the fairway with a map this season, so I'm off of him. Everywhere else, it seems to be fine for Hideki. He likes this course well enough to win it last year. He's 59th in good drives gained and 39th in double avoidance, but everywhere else is strong. He's number 7 in my model. I don't fault you at all for Hideki, but I'm on Sam Burns at the same number. Sam Burns is slightly better off the tee and has one of the best short games in bogey avoidance and double bogey avoidance you're going to find in this field. Second in scrambling, second in bogey avoidance, 8th in this field in putting on Bermuda. That's important. These greens are tricky, they're fast, and they are Bermuda, which is, as we said last week, is completely unique. You either putt well on Bermuda or you don't. And Sam Burns putts well everywhere, including on Bermuda. And so I'll take a shot on Sammy Burns. Sammy ball game. Let's go. 40-1. That's a good line.
Yeah, like Burns. But we both have been on Burns for weeks now. So yeah, I would keep riding with that. Yeah. I can't defend Hideki other than, it's
good vibes. He's got great vibes here.
Great vibes here. Yeah, he's another vibe play like JT. I'm definitely more amped about JT than I am Hideki, but I just feel like 40 is a little long for Hideki when you look at some of the other guys we're
Right?
talking about. Like
That's crazy, right?
I think that's why I gravitated towards it so much. Like Hideki obviously can win here, so
Yeah, recently. All right, let's head to the mid-range here. You got Shane Lowry. That's interesting. Shane Lowry is in that same kind of, can he make putts? Can we know he's accurate. We know he's going to get off the tee in the fairway, and we know he's going to have a decent mid to long iron game. Can he make putts though? Everything seems to point to, okay, all these guys who are great ball strikers, who's going to be the one that actually converts enough birdie chances and avoids the big numbers? Shane Lowry is your steady Eddie guy, isn't he not?
I think he can definitely compete in this like kind of like teens, mid to upper teens area scoring. To your point, it truly is the putting, and actually the putting's been pretty bad coming in here.
Bad.
So yeah, I have some apprehension. I like the number. I like the accuracy. I'm really focused on the accuracy pieces this week. And
it's such a good line for Shane. That's such a tempting line right there.
It's a really good number on him. And yeah, the putting is a little bit terrifying, just to put it mildly. That should tell you how scared I actually am. But when you look at like some of the scrambling stats, you look at some of the around the green stats, he really is, in the bottom or in the top half of this field in terms of performance. So if the putter can just be some semblance of okay this week, I mean, he definitely catapults himself into contention. And we've seen him pop time and again where he just kind of gets a hot hand, and that's kind of who Shane Lowry is. So it's not without risk. And 50 again just seems he's having a pretty decent season again. So I don't hate it at 50.
So I'm going to see your 50-1 Shane Lowry, and I'll raise you a Wyndham Clark 55-1. There's your upside pick, because the last 3 weeks, Wyndham Clark has been in fuego. His approach game has gone from terrible to okay. His off the tee game has been in play. This is the best putter on Bermuda in this field by a long shot. He's got birdies coming out his ears lately. Number 4 in my model, and outside of the shorter approach bucket between 125 and 150, he is in the top 25 in every single category that I filtered. Wyndham Clark, can't really stand him anymore because he's a hothead that doesn't take accountability for his actions and losing his temper, but he's hot. He's hot, and he makes a ton of birdies, and he tends to, if you're right about the weather being hot and dry and this place speeding up, that's a grinder right there, Wyndham Clark. That's going to be really tough to beat, especially with the way he's been playing his irons the last few tournaments. I love that line, 55-1 on Wyndham Clark, because he's got all that firepower, and he's feeling pretty good. He's been in good form.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought about it for a minute, and then he had such an outlier performance in terms of stats at the Open and then at the 3M. I mean, you're not going to see Wyndham Clark gain almost 10 strokes on approach week in and week out. So I think that has catapulted him in terms of the approach metrics for the season. If you look at the rest of the year, I mean,
bad.
It's just bad. And then you look
at bad.
You look at the putting, and the putting is just not good either. He managed to gain a stroke at the 3M. Yeah, I don't know. He has upside, don't get me wrong. Wyndham Clark can get scorching hot, as demonstrated by the 3M. I mean, 10 strokes on approach is pretty serious.
That's ridiculous, especially for him.
But it's not consistent. There's not a shred of consistency in Wyndham Clark this season.
Those were his what the Open Championship, tied for 4th. One of only 2 top 10s this entire season.
Yeah, it's been a dramatic fall from where he was last year, and so
grace and form and everything. He fell
everywhere. Yeah, I mean, this guy in my book is right up there with Patty Reed in terms of integrity. So I don't know. I get it, 55 for the upside, and we're not betting on personalities. We're betting on players, and
we're gambling. We are gambling, Connor.
But I have a hard time with Wyndham here.
Yeah, I did too, but the line was too good, and the recent form, I think he might be waking up. Maybe.
I get the upside. I do.
We're both on Nick Taylor at 80-1, but you're on Lucas Glover too. And this guy is a horse for the course. It seems like he only plays well on these courses where the greens are so small that the putts aren't long enough to cause him any grief. This is an atrocious putter, but one of the best ball strikers accuracy-wise on the planet. Lucas Glover, I get it. 80-1, that's pretty decent. Tell me why I should be in on Lucas Glover 80-1 as well.
Well, you kind of nailed it. It's again, it's an accuracy guy. And especially when you look at the two main buckets, that 150 to 175, 175 to 200, those are his best ranges. He's also in the top 20 for the par 4 scoring metrics we talked about, the 450 to 500. So I like that. He's accurate off the tee, which is important here.
Yes.
And then he's in the top 17th for strokes gained approach. And also, like Lucas Glover, not to play like narratives, but he just tends to pop in the playoffs. Like we see some of the best golf come out of him. And, you know, when we saw him make that run, what was it, 2 years ago now, where he was literally making every putt he looked at. I mean, that's the type of heat that Lucas Glover can get. And when
it was here.
Yeah, it was here.
He made everything in Memphis.
And then continued. I mean, I think we thought he was popped off the following week too.
Yep.
So Lucas Glover again just can play in the playoffs. We're not that far removed from a win here. And I love the accuracy in the iron game. So it's 80-1. I think it's not a value per se. He's high risk, but I think the number's right.
I think the number's right too, especially if you're looking for somebody who's like a sneaky DFS play. Lucas Glover is your guy, because when he gets that putter going, like he did here 2 years ago, that guy's gonna put up massive numbers, and he's gonna push for this win. Nick Taylor, the Canadian, he's your quintessential accurate grinder. This guy is, when you need straight shots off the tee and straight shots on approach and timely, not going to beat himself, Nick Taylor 80-1. I just like it because if it is going to be hot and dry and tough on these guys with a 12 to 15 under finish, Nick Taylor's going to vastly outplay his price here at 80-1. That's really, really long for a guy of this caliber.
And just incredibly, like this season in particular, just been incredibly consistent. I mean,
his whole career he's been consistent. It's just now we know, because he's a multiple time winner on the tour. We've seen him win multiple times the last couple of years, that we understand that he has always been this consistent. I'm looking at all green across the board in every stat.
Yeah, it's all green for me too. And then if you look at like the historical, like long-term data, you got to go back 300 rounds before he is green across across the averages for all the main, like the shots gained tee to green, shots gained off tee, approach, around the green, the putting, like your core ones. I mean, it's incredible how consistent a player Nick Taylor truly is. And, you know, he's having a better than average year for him. So would not surprise me to see him pop here, grind it out a little bit, good accuracy, steadfast around the green, steadfast on the green. It's just really a well-rounded game, which is, like I said earlier when we were doing the course breakdown, that's what I'm looking for. A guy who's good from top to bottom of the bag.
That's right. All right, let's take some shots deep. 90-1 or deeper. We have Siwoo Kim. Agreement. That's another Lucas Glover type play. Accurate off the tee, accurate on approach. Atrocious putter.
Terrifying.
terrifying putter, but he's getting 90-1 odds. So out of 70 guys, that's a really good chance of winning for a guy who has won many tournaments. Siwoo Kim, another positional smart player. He's also pretty aggressive. I like this play. That's an amazing line in a field this small for a guy who absolutely can win this tournament.
Definitely. And I think I said it a few weeks back too. A lot with Siwoo and the putter just kind of depends on which one he Russian roulettes out of the trunk of the car this week.
Like seriously, he changes every week and every day of each week.
And he's on to that giraffe neck odyssey now, which I don't know. Maybe that's the secret.
Who knows?
But I mean, we've seen him have really good streaks with the putter, and then he'll just switch for no reason. And,
and he's back to 120th.
I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
He's funny. He's really funny.
He is hilarious. Yeah. See, I mean, anytime you're going to give me those type of odds on Siwoo, it's just, Siwoo can get nuclear hot. So
for me, it was just every stat except for putting. And honestly, 50th out of 70 in putting, not terrible. I could do a lot worse. Bogey avoidance, top 10. Birdies are better gained, also top 10. Opportunities gained, number 3. Number 4 in strokes gained, par 4. This is a scoring machine when the putts are falling. And on small greens, it's the Lucas Glover thing, is he's going to give himself so many chances with 20 feet or less for birdie that you just have to hope that they go down.
That's why he's 90-1.
All right, so I'll wrap up mine since he's at 100-1. My last guy in is Chris Kirk at 100-1. Apparently, he's falling to 120 in other books. Go and jump all over that. Chris Kirk loves this golf course. Chris Kirk is accurate. Chris Kirk is another guy who struggles with the flat stick. Not necessarily good on the longer par 4s that we're going to get quite a few of, but number 2 in the approach buckets that we're looking at. Number 8 in birdies are better. He's a scoring machine. Just another similar player. He's not going to beat himself, but he's also, we just got to hope the putter wakes up, because Chris Kirk with the flat stick is honestly terrifying.
Yeah, he's in good form right now.
He is, yes.
And the
putter right this second.
Right this second. The putter has been pretty good for the last 5 starts. I mean, call it what it is. He's 100 or 120-1. I mean, he's priced the way he is because he's volatile. I don't love him here, and it's mostly because of those approach metrics. But he does manage to pop up and kind of surprise us on different tracks. I don't think he's one specific type of track, and so I can see the value in Chris Kirk there. I mean, he definitely could have a week.
I have him at number 2 from 125 to 150, and number 11 from 150 to 175.
With the way you have it sorted, probably when you look at the overall stats for the season, like more. Filtered, it's bad. He's 56 from 150 to 175. He's 55th in putting. He is 11th in approach, which is really good. But then you start getting into some of the off the tee stats and the scrambling, and it goes.
Oh, scrambling is not pretty. The scrambling isn't pretty.
And I
left that one out. I left that one out because it's important here, but it doesn't help my cause here.
Yeah, and I don't love it. Right, you mix that off the tee play with lack of ability to scramble and lack of ability to be accurate from the longer distances that he's going to be hitting from it and off the fairway. I don't know.
And guess what? We get 4 rounds of all these guys.
I hope I'm wrong, guys, but I know we had some people in the chat loving on Kirk. I know you're in on him. I don't see it.
Well, Connor, tell them who they should bet on.
I mean, do I need to talk about Emiliano Grillo for the 6th week in a row?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Grillo, normally the Achilles heel is the putter. That has not been the case really for most of this season. He's been lingering around. We saw him pop with a second place finish at John Deere when we were really, really on him. Played well at the 3M, finished in 20th. Took a little step back at the Wyndham, but the putter went a little cold. It was actually the first time in about 5 starts that he actually lost over a stroke putting, which is, dare I say, becoming a little bit abnormal for Emiliano Grillo. But the approach and the accuracy with the iron play is just really, really stout with Emiliano Grillo. And the other thing we always like about him is the opportunities gained always pops. He is a guy that throws darts, holds greens well, gives himself a lot of looks from inside of 20 feet. And while I'm not as concerned about the birdie looks, they're great. We want them. But the fact that I don't have to worry about him missing greens as dramatically as some of these other guys may, I think there's a lot of value in Grillo here. I
tend to agree with you.
So it's a pretty good number on him, really.
Yeah. That bucket 150 to 175 is my heaviest weighted because 10 of the approach shots on this course are in that. You're going to have that approach range from 150 to 175. That's a lot of approaches in that range. He's number 8 in this entire field in that bucket. That's good. We love Emiliano Grillo, and he's 120 to 1. That's a good pick. Who else you got?
Bud Colley.
Friend of the show, Bud Colley.
Friend of the show, Bud Colley. Yeah, we've liked Bud Colley all year.
He crushed us last week.
Yeah. But no, it's again, Bud Colley is actually just kind of along the lines of a couple of the guys we've already talked about, where like a Nick Taylor-esque player, where it's just very steady Eddie across the board.
He's a good scrambler. Good scrambler.
And the only thing, I mean, if we're going to talk things that do scare me a little bit, he's not super great at the longer par 4s. He's going to be in the lower portion of this field. I mean, but you look at
that good bucket, the big bucket, he's dead last.
So, yeah, so he is dead last in that 150 to 175, but he's top 10 in the 175 to 200. I think that will be more the range, that 175 for Bud Colley. And so I looked at the overall approach, last 36 rounds, 14th in the field, bogey avoidance, 14th in the field, fairways gained, he's 18th in the field. So a lot of those accuracy metrics that I'm looking for, Bud Colley is actually, in the top tier of this field. Putter is iffy at best. He's streaky. But to your point, Bo, he's good scrambler.
Better on Bermuda than any other surface. So that's good. He's number 22 putting on Bermuda.
It'd be one of those weird occasions where if he puts it all together, I mean, Bud Colley's pretty live with the accuracy alone. So
he's not going to beat himself. The scrambling is great, and the ancillary stats that come from scrambling, your bogey avoidance, he's number 7, and double bogey avoidance, which is going to come into play here, is number 1 in this field. Double bogey avoidance. Bud Colley is not going to beat himself. So again, if we get tougher conditions, the scrambling will be put under stress, and your guys like Victor Hovland are going to fall away. Your guys like Bud Colley are going to rise.
Agreed.
If it gets stressful in the short game, we gotta look for those scramblers. Like Shane Lowry is another guy. If the weather gets a little hot and dry, he's just gonna separate himself that way. All right, what's the winning score going to be, and who besides Scottie is going to win it?
I think it's 15, and I like Hovland.
All right, I am not going to be on Hovland that much. I'm going to take JT at 13 under par.
All right.
JT season.
God, I hope.
Ben Griffin, oof. Maybe a top 10. Maybe
9th in my 10. Model. The only thing I worry about with Ben Griffin, again, stats look really, really good with him, but I do worry about. Everything looks pretty good on mine, except when you get to the 150 to 175, he takes a dip, which is not great. Yeah. And then the fairway accuracy, like off the tee, his accuracy is struggling.
So Ben Griffin out of 69 golfers is 62 in my model. So I'm not on him.
Not good, Bob.
Not good, Bob. Wow, we got her up pick at 14 under. Well, we'd love to see it. That's spicy. Got her up is going to struggle off the tee here. I think that's a big, very important status to be able to find the fairway. Is if you don't find the fairway here, you are absolutely not going to make any birdies because the Bermuda rough here is serious, and the greens are nasty, small, and fast.
Oof.
Yeah, got her up. Where's he at on mine? It's 43.
42 in mine.
Hey. Yeah, he is hot. He is hot right now, like Hansel. The hat is ready. Come on, low number.
The hat has wisely selected number 6. The hat's out for blood again.
Mercifully.
Patrick Cantlay.
Sam Burns.
Whew.
That's
hot hat.
That is hot. That is a hot hat right there. Kevin Hayes wants to do Nico Echeverria top South American. That would put him over Emiliano Grillo, though.
I'm taking Grillo.
Yeah, I think Grillo's the better choice this week. The approach game is very important. And Nico did struggle on approach on Sunday, which is why he fell so far. He was fighting that two-way miss again, which is what I predicted would happen the whole week, but he was awesome the first 3 days. Well, next week's the BMW. From where are they having this? Philadelphia? Somewhere? I don't even remember. But the BMW changes venues every year. We'll figure it out. Only the top 50. Only 50 will remain after this week. And then the BMW is going to whittle it down to 30 for the Tour Championship and Hotlanta at East Lake Country Club. Oh, yeah. Daniel Berger. Yeah. Top 20, maybe. Jubbard. I like that name. All right. Join us next week for the BMW Championship. From Conor, I'm Bo. This has been the 19th hole.